Hello, everyone, and good morning, and welcome to another episode of Smashi Sports Show. My name is Hisham, and I'm joined today by Abdulaziz.
Hello, Hisham.
How
Hello,
are you, Aziz?
everyone. Good. Thank you.
Today is the 3rd of January 2025, and it's the first episode of 2025. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
It's a bit
Hisham.
late,
Happy New Year,
but Happy New Year.
everyone. Wishing you a lot of success, happiness, joy, health, most importantly.
What's your expectation for 2025?
My expectation for 2025, the major one, health.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, a lot of cash. Can I say it? No?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
It's fine. Let's say career growth.
Um,
Let's paraphrase it in that way.
Whatever.
Career growth.
Career growth, yeah.
That's enough.
We're getting there.
That's
We're getting
enough,
there.
that's
We're
enough.
getting there anyway.
That's
What
enough.
are yours?
It's
Anyway.
fine. That's enough. It's enough.
What are yours sports-wise?
Sports-wise, I predict that 2025 we have a lot of events coming and happening. Hopefully, we see a lot of development happening in the GCC for all sports and obviously mainly football because it's the most loved sport across the whole world. And you have a lot of tournaments being organized by Saudi, by UAE. Hopefully, they turn out to be very well and very well organized as always. What we see from the GCC countries. Let's start on with our first headline and. Games have been massive in the last couple of days where we had the semi-final. First game was Oman versus Saudi Arabia and the second game was Bahrain versus Kuwait. Let's start off with the home team. Kuwait lost 1-0 against Oman in a very
Against Bahrain.
it was a very intense game because Kuwait is playing at their home. Oman receives a red card in the 52-minute. And when you even see the stats, like Bahrain shot 14 shots on Kuwait. So I think what they're managing to do, and especially after scoring the goals on the 75-minute, I think Bahrain had the mentality of just let's keep pushing and pressuring them
With
more.
the red card also.
Yeah.
They got the red card very early and they played on fast break, I would say.
Yeah.
And this is a very good strategy when you have a red card because playing 10 versus 11 might
Yeah.
seem difficult.
It's from the 52 minute Mahdi. Abdel Jabir got a red card in the 52-minute, and Bahrain managed to score by Mohamed Mahroun on the 75 minute. And as I was saying, playing home is a weapon, can be with you or against you. At the end, if you feel the pressure of your fans around you, that you're getting pressured, and when time goes up, the advantage is always for the away team, not for the home team. So I think this is the trap that Kuwait fell into.
Yes.
And Bahrain managed to qualify for the final. And since the group stages, I was speaking to Majid, and I spoke to you. I told you,
your predictions were
I
right.
told you
actually,
that Bahrain will win this tournament because you see the potential that they have since they won their results, their games, winning the first 2 games.
I think I totally agree. They are the best team now in the Middle East now.
I think because those kind of tournaments, obviously, you just have to play it right. I like the strategy of how Bahrain just won the first 2 games and they decided to rest the players on the 3rd game, even though they lost their 3rd game. But the mentality of just having a plan for the whole tournament, I think that works out well for them. Let's move on to the second game that happened, and it was the second semi-final, and it was Oman against Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is just
This
getting
one was
a
really
lot
something.
of heat since the beginning of this tournament. I'm not sure. Obviously after winning the World Cup, hosting the World Cup 2034, and losing in qualifications for the upcoming World Cup in 2026, I think people are more expecting from the Saudi national team. Moreover, what I think the fans were saying that if I'm a fan and my country is doing the same, like what's happening in the Russia and Saudi league, is that you guys bring a lot of players in order for the table and for the league to grow, and also that will help the national team grow. Since ever this season, the players arrived last year, obviously, but this year is more, and I'm sure next year will be much more, and we're gonna jump onto that because we have.
And
a lot
also,
of
we need to mention that we had 2 red cards also in this.
Yeah, apart from the 2 red cards, you see, they've been getting a lot of hate regarding that. That the plan was the league for it to have the amount of big players coming from Europe in order for the league to grow, and that would help the national team.
True.
But the national team has been slacking in the last year, approximately after the World Cup that they made in 2022. I think Saudi national team hasn't been performing that well. That's why there are fans. The game was 2-1 to Oman. Oman had the opportunity to score the first two goals. First goal was scored in the 74th minute, and that tells
And
you it was
Oman
a
had the
very
red
tight
card
game.
at the 34th minute.
Yeah, you
So
see the passion. That's why they got a lot of hate. And then Ali Al-Basadi scored in the 85th minute, and Muhammad Kano, he is the Al-Ahli player. He's a striker.
he scored at the
He
87th
scored at the
minute.
87 minutes, hoping that
But
they
it was too late.
can get a draw. But when you see the amount of shots that Saudi had, 18 shots against 7 shots from Oman, approximately 5 only of the 18 shots were on target, and that is a very, very low number. Because if you're shooting 18, you would get like a 40% out of them at least on goal. That's like a 9 shots on goal, but having 5.
Also, the possession numbers are interesting. I mean, 70%.
You can see that they had the position. Saudi almost made 527 passes compared to 225 for Oman.
it's like doubled.
They controlled the game more.
But they couldn't finish.
But yeah, they couldn't finish 2 red cards both games. Hopefully, the final will be tomorrow. Will be played at 8 p.m. and it will
Oman and Bahrain.
be Oman and Bahrain. Hopefully, we'll give you the full details and highlights
Again, you're still,
on the game.
you're still
on our
on your
Instagram
same
page.
prediction, so you're still on Bahrain. We need
Yeah, Bahrain will definitely win. I told you. Whoever will win.
It's a final. You never
Yeah.
know.
I said it last time. Cairo, Abdul Majid with me in the last
Yeah.
round. I said if Bahrain win Kuwait, they took the tournament because you knocked out the home team.
True.
So the passion you have inside you is dead. You know, you're just gonna go there.
I agree
It's
and
mine.
disagree because I don't know. Finals are always
Finals are always
exceptional games.
It's always
you know?
tricky, but you know the football game has scenarios we all know. Sometimes it may kicks out, but like 95%, the scenarios happen. You know, it's just like if you miss, you receive a goal. That's
True.
I'm just giving a rare sample of like the scenarios happen in football. So, as I said, there's going to be a very tight game, obviously, but I'm sure Bahrain will manage to win, and I think it's going to be a strong comeback for the Bahraini
For the
national
Bahrain,
team.
we'll
having
see
them
it.
in order to
I
win
hopefully want
this
Bahrain to win. I mean,
tournament will be such a great.
the level of Bahrain is very. It's the best. I mean, no one is really close to them for now. Even I was expecting Saudi to get the tournament, but didn't happen.
Yeah, I was expecting Saudi and UAE would reach at least to the semifinals. But yeah, that's the football game.
That's
you know,
football game again.
I think this also tournament was very useful for many managers and national team in order for like to see what the team needs and how the team should shape up and type of players and players that.
This
they
is
should
what I
have.
said last time. These kind of tournaments, they are as important because they prepare the team for the big
Yeah.
companies, for the
Yeah.
big tournaments.
Mainly for the World Cup qualifications.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing happening right now.
100%,
Everybody
100%.
wants to participate in the World Cup. Trust me, like that's the main goal for all national teams, I predict. So hopefully, wish that the tournament was well organized. It looks very pretty. Congratulations to Kuwait. The tournament looked amazing. Unlucky they didn't qualify for the finals for the fans, but I'm sure the stadium would look fantastic with the closing ceremony because they had an amazing opening ceremony. So hopefully Bahrain managed to win because I saw right now I'll go with Bahrain to be fair. Like I know Oman is our neighbors here in UAE, but Bahrain has a much more passion. They had a plan since day one. You can see it, it's obvious.
True.
And we'll discuss it on Monday. You'll see who win.
Fine.
Okay. Let's moving on to our second story, and it's not away from the this amazing tournament we had where Herve Renard reportedly decided to stop calling up 3 players for future.
Now
Saudi
the
national
consequences
team
of the
matches.
loss. Now the consequences.
I think that's a bit early for you to decide that because I say my perspective just after you just being knocked out. He just came before the tournament by a couple of days. He played, I think, 2 games in the World Cup qualification or a game. He knows the team. He made a very good career with them, and he made history with them on the World Cup by winning Argentina. But you know, players are slacking sometimes. Players like performance go up and down, but just giving out that you won't be calling up 3 players for the national team that's a bit tough from my.
It looks early.
from my
it looks
perspective.
early, right? But I think these kind of decisions they are not made up very quickly. I mean, maybe he had his own reasons for it. the inner kitchen, I would say.
So the
He
players
knows.
that he decided that he won't be calling up on top, and the players that who got most of the heat. And I remember him in the last game, not the semi-final, or the quarterfinals. One of the goals were against him. It's Ali Al-Blehi, Sultan Al-Ghannam, and Yasser Ish-Sharhani. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like Al-Blehi, he's a very fantastic player, but I think he's a player that focuses more outside the field more than being inside the field. Like
Correct.
the fights he makes, the amounts of red cards he takes, it's his personality, it's his character. I get it.
And these kind of things affect the game, and they are like
But I
minor
think
details, but they affect the game.
I-
They have a very impactful.
I don't want to be like hard, but I think he focuses more on just being a trend or having reels go upon him, and he doesn't really focus
More
on
than
the
focusing
football.
on the game itself.
Yeah, and I think he's one of the big players in the national team and in Al Hilal as well. So he should lead by example, and hopefully, I think maybe we just say it's like an ear twist for them.
Yeah.
But these players are very important players. Hopefully, they can just recalculate their mindsets and look forward for that, and also for Herve. Like, I get it. Like you made stuff with the national team that no one has ever did, but just don't throw your players like that under the bus.
I mean, we're talking about international teams, so even if the player is so good and has like
Yeah,
very
I get it,
remarkable
but
skills,
but
if
he's
he's
if he's bad, if three
not
of them
bad,
are
I mean,
bad.
if he's impacting the
Yeah,
national
yes.
team in a bad way, then yes, why
But
not
you
take
had
it out?
3 games in a group stage, quarterfinal and semi-final. So you had 7 games approximately.
Yeah.
Did it take you to the semi-final to find that you should have not called them? Don't play them. Don't play them. Since the beginning. First 2-3 games, bad. Okay, take them. I'm sorry, but Saudi qualified for the quarterfinal last minute games.
Yeah, true,
They
true.
they didn't. They
I was
weren't.
expecting a comeback,
Yeah.
honestly, but
Like they qualified in their last group stage game. So you can see the performance after the first 3 games. Then if you see that those players were slacking, behavior, performance, whatever reasons you had, why did he participate in the quarterfinals? Why did you make them participate in the semifinals?
because you don't have other choices.
Okay, if you don't have choices, that's your problem because you did not make the right selection. In case, what if those players got injured?
That's a
means-
different scenario.
Yeah, it's a different scenario, but it's the same conclusion of not you having them. So I think the players you called up, the squad that you called up for those tournament, maybe it wasn't the right decisions for you that you made. Imagine 3 of them got injured. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but
If you didn't have an option, we can't say that because these players, maybe they're performing very well. Okay, they're shining in the tournament, but they got injured. You say that I don't have another option.
but
As
they
a
didn't
manager,
perform that well in the tournament.
Listen.
That's why actually.
I'll tell you
they had
something.
7 games.
National team is different regarding what having a football team in just like the other clubs, it's fine. But especially in the national team, if you're going with a tournament, you have 23 players or 30 players. These 30 players have to be the same top quality. Only small gaps and difference between both of them. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
But apart from that, you just can't say that, I just made the wrong selections. You say you made the wrong selection, but don't say, I
If you were in
couldn't
earning
find-"
the virtues, you would do the same selection outcast. I mean,
Yeah, I'll do
then
them.
it depends on
I would
on
do the same
outcome of
selection,
the games,
but
yeah.
I will get 23 players, top level. Players that actually deserves to wear the national team jersey, Because playing for the national team is something, it's something, you can't describe it. It's something very different.
This is what the players also should understand.
Yeah, obviously, he should
If
understand.
if your behavior is such a bad behavior and you bring red cards and focusing more on the outside of the game more than the performance, then it's the players' problem now.
But he knows
I
those
mean, the
players.
coaches he
I-
trusted you.
I think he made that decision out of anger because he knows those players. They've been playing with him for years, more than 5 years, I predict. So, if you already know those players, you already know what's their weaknesses and their strength points. So, just let's make sure, a player, you know how he acts, how he behaves, right? So, don't come now act, oh my God, I'm surprised. I'm not going to call them again.
True. Last month, I came across a book which is for coaching, and the name is like Coaching Egos. And then seniors and international teams, the coach has has nothing to teach more, like any plus for the players. He's more coaching their egos, and that's why coaching these kind of players, you have to know how he behave in and outside the court.
Yes. And how you can control them.
Exactly, and how you can
Yeah.
control them to get the best performance out of them.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important. I totally agree with you.
There's also the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper Mohamed Olayser is retiring from international.
Big player. I think having Bono in Al Hilal is one of those decisions that's making him slacking. To be fair, he's not feeling himself. He did a very fantastic World Cup.
True.
Especially the first game, obviously. But I feel like the national team, after winning Argentina, that World Cup, I think those generations just felt like they had it. They're done. That's the best they can achieve. I think they have
But
more
that
to
should
come.
be a start, not an ending. That
I
should
know,
be a
but I
beginning
think for the
good.
upcoming generations, they need to start looking. So Mohamed Khan is a very, very good striker. He's competing in the Saudi league with big players like Ronaldo, Benzema, and other strikers, Mitrovic, and he's a local player. So yeah, hard luck for the Saudi national team. Hopefully that can be a learning point and a plot twist for the national team in order to grow and have a good career in the next World Cup happening 2026.
I think these are just ups and downs
they
for them.
need
I really
they
trust
need
the
to win
Saudi
their
team.
next game.
Yeah,
They need to win their next game in the qualifications, in the World Cup qualifications.
that's must.
Yeah, it should be a turning point for them, to be fair. Finally, let's move on to our last story, and we're still looking for the Saudi League. Casemiro's reportedly on the Saudi League radar. I think right now...
One more player to join the Saudi.
Yeah,
League.
but Casemiro is a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Started for Porto, then he went to Madrid, made a successful 8 to 9 years there with them, winning many 4 Champions League. Moving back then to United, I think they had that Varane, Casemiro, Ronaldo theory inside their head. But you see, Casemiro is one of the big players. He's not really been doing well since he went to Manchester United. I think he
How old
only
is
had
he
his
now?
first season. I think he's more than 34, 35 years old. 34,
32.
32 years old.
Yeah.
I think he has another 2 to 3 years to perform in his peak.
Yeah, let's
And
say 2 to 3 years.
and I think him being in Saudi will take the pressure off him, because trust me, playing for Manchester United right now is so pressuring. From everything, from the fans, from the board,
playing
from
in
the
Manchester United,
manager.
it's always pressuring.
It's so pressuring. So I think and also people had high expectations on him, because when he played at United, when he played for Madrid, you had like with you Modric and Cruz on the same line with you. Trust me, if I'm playing with them, I'll be the best player. If I'm the third one, if I'm their number 6, trust me, I'm good. I have back with me Ramos,
Everyone is very
Varane, like fantastic team.
good.
to be
Everyone
fair.
is very good.
So I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a very good player.
No, he's a fantastic player.
But I predict it. I think it's time for him to move out of Manchester United in general. I'm not sure him going to Saudi or not is based on the decision that.
Yeah,
he
there's
will-
multiple Saudi clubs that are monitoring Casemiro's situation. Al-Ittihad, Al-Nasr, Al-Qadisiyah, and Al-Ahli are among the clubs interested, and I think he'll end up in the Saudi. I have a feeling that he'll end up.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great move for him as well. I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of players coming up to the Saudi league in the transfer. In Jan, you may see a player or two, just for teams to just
His
up.
contract with Manchester United ends in June 2026.
Yeah, because look, the player, when he has 6 months remaining,
Even more sometimes.
in his
1 year.
contract, he has the opportunity to sign for another club.
Yeah.
So just like Salah as well, he has a 6-month
Period.
period right now where he can sign up to a club for free at the moment. Yeah, thank you, Aziz. Thank you for this great episode.
Thank you,
It's
Hisham.
always
Thanks,
nice having you.
everyone.
Thank you for everyone who's watching us. You can always listen to us on your favorite podcast platform, Anagami, Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcast. And you can watch us audio video on Smashi TV.
Again,
Let's
tomorrow
give
the final.
Let's give a shout out here to my boy Cairo. So you can also watch the full episode video audio on Smashi TV and download Smashi TV on your iPad, your iPhone, Android, your TV. This was Smashi Sports Show a Smashi production under the Augustus Media Network podcast. See you on Friday. See you next Monday at
Friday?
11
Wow,
a.m. See you at 11
you
a.m.
just kept 1 week.
See you soon.
See you guys.